Hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing okay. It is an absolutely beautiful day today. It's in the 70s. It's sunny. There's a very comfortable breeze, no humidity. This is a gym lifting day. Yay! All right. My kind of day. Yummy. I can eat this day up. Yum, yum, yum. Tastes great. Feels great too. Now, this video kind of supplements the one I just uploaded about the incorrect news that the Associated Press wrote. Okay. Now, the reason why, and I was just thinking this after I did the video, and I don't think I really explained why this isn't what they're saying it is. Because if this was a real impeachment inquiry, why didn't Pelosi take it to a vote like she did 3 times already? Okay, this is a coup that could not be more evident. That could be not more evident. Whistleblowers occur in businesses. Businesses, okay, not in politics, and especially not in a presidential administration. Okay, yes, Trump is a businessman, that is true. Okay, and maybe that was part of the reason why they're calling this leaker as a whistleblower. But I also think they're doing this so that the leaker can remain anonymous, because all the other leakers expose themselves. So the only way that the left can protect the identity of this leaker is to call him a whistleblower. And whistleblowers only occur in businesses. When business owners are corrupt, like like Google, Facebook, Twitter, and there have been quite a few whistleblowers of those companies who come out and reveal that of evidence of bias. So, or that there's money laundering, or there's some other shady activity going on. And they have been saying for the past 3.5 years, or 2.5 years, about Trump being corrupt. This is nothing new. Come on. How stupid do you think Americans are? You have been talking, and I'm saying you in terms of Democrats. Okay.
See you.
Michael.
Jim.
All right.
I know you there. I know they had to do.
Okay. They've been talking about impeachment as soon after the day after the election in November of 2016. They've been talking about impeachment before he was even sworn in, before he did anything. To be impeachable, they were calling for his impeachment. So this is more of the same story. Jesse. Not Jesse, Calvin. Brandy.
Yeah, we vlogging.
Yeah, we're
Let
vlogging.
me get on, man.
Yeah.
It's me, B, chilling with Jim. You know, he the
Oh,
man.
Thank you. You're the man, too.
Jim the man, cat.
Thank you.
I be trying to tell him, Jim, they better leave Jim alone. Keep beating their ass, Jim.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. You too.
All right.
All right. He's a good guy. This is the same story that's been going on for the past few years. So really, is this impeachment? This is why I made that sarcastic video. I said, oh my God, I never saw this coming. Because it is so stupid. It is so blatantly obvious. I mean, a person with half functioning brain cells can see this is more of the same that we've been hearing for the past 2.5 years, almost 3. You know, it's almost 3 years. You realize that? That we've been listening to this for the past 3 years. Impeach, 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 impeach. Impeach. Impeach before he does anything. Impeach on his election day. Impeach the day after election day. And impeach before he's sworn in. Impeach after he's sworn in. Impeach, 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 impeach. And they're saying he's an illegitimate president. And I was saying in the other video about it, illegitimate, that if he's illegitimate, why is he donating to charities? Why is he doing so much for this country if he's illegitimate? And then I realized that the illegitimate claim is about President Trump himself. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Is he an American citizen? Yes. Is he over 35 years old? Yes. Then he can be president. There's nothing illegitimate about it. I can be president. I can be president. Anybody can be president as long as he's born in the United States and is over 35 years old. Anybody can be president. Okay. Trump was born in the United States and he's over 35 years old. Then he qualifies. He qualifies as the president of the United States. He can qualify. He does. He does. There's nothing illegitimate about him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's over 35, but he's a United States citizen. Boom. Then he can be president. Anybody can be president, as long as they're over 35 and an American citizen. So this argument about him being illegitimate is more of the same garbage. Now, interesting that as you know, I've written a few notes. Now, they're saying that the president speaks in codes. Really? Codes for what? And they're reading more into what he says. Now, and they're calling us conspiracy theorists.
Gotta go. Bye, Jill.
Bye. See you tomorrow. All right. They call us conspiracy theorists when a conspiracy theorist is a belief that some covert but influential organization is responsible for a circumstance or event. A belief that some covert but influential organization is responsible. So, they're accusing Trump of speaking in codes. And he calls us conspiracy theorists. I mean, speaking in codes is pretty much covert, isn't it? Because speaking in codes is you're saying one thing and it's understood you mean something else. So, I think that's covert, isn't it? Don't you think it's covert? That only those people who understand the words that they say mean something else. So if they're saying that he's speaking in codes, well then they must know him, right? But the problem is they don't know him. They're just reacting to him. They don't listen to, it's proof. They don't listen to what he says. You know, when he was making that speech, and CNN, like 10 or 15 seconds into his address, they cut away and start talking and say, oh, he's lying again. How do you know he's lying again? You didn't even hear him. You didn't even listen to 15 words. How do you know he's lying? You know, it's the same argument. I heard other people tell me, oh, he lied about 1,624 times. I said, yeah, and you counted every one, right? I said, okay, list them.
I can't hear you. Hi, what?
So that, what code? What's the code? It's stupid. It's like is he part of a special squadron or something? That he's speaking in code? Code for what? Why don't you list them instead of talking like that? Okay, code for what? You tell me what the code words are. Nationalist for white nationalist. Are you serious? Nationalist means the love of one's country, love of one's nation. A white nationalist, well, is a lover of the white people, I guess. You know, there's black nationalists. Every citizen is a nationalist if he loves his own country. But if it means white nationalists, he would say white nationalists. He's already said he condemns white nationalists and white supremacy. He condemns them. So that should eliminate that right there. He just elaborated. He said, no, it's not white nationalism. It's not white supremacy. I condemn those. Period. There's your argument. Oh, he's lying. So you're calling him a liar. And you are a paragon of truth, right? Hypocrisy is truth, right? You know. So it's stupid. It's so stupid. Okay. Now, these are all little notes that I wrote. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Pelosi demands transparency, yet holds impeachment hearings behind closed doors. Now, what the hell's wrong with that picture? Yes, I insist upon transparency. I want the world to know, and I want the country to know everything. But yet, we're going to hold meetings in secret. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's real transparency, Miss Pelosi. Real transparency. I mean, really. You're going to hold secret meetings and insist on transparency? I don't think you know what the word transparency is. The president is more transparent than you are. The president insists on no closed meetings. And you're saying he's covering up something? I think you got this ass backwards, Miss Pelosi. You're projecting again. Because you are accusing Trump of a cover-up, and yet you are doing these interviews in secret behind closed doors. So nobody else can question these people. And you're accusing Trump of a cover-up? Huh, that's rich. That is rich. You just saw transparency, and yet you want to hide everybody behind closed doors. You believe in you accuse Trump of a cover-up, and yet you are keeping all your testimonies in secret, so nobody else sees it. I don't think you're qualified and capable of being House Speaker. Okay. Now, every time, and I was talking about voting. Okay. And the Democrats refuse to answer the question about why Pelosi won't take it to a vote. Okay. And I've been watching these interviews, and it's really very telling and so blatantly obvious. It's like when I used to see Judge Millian on People's Court, when the judge asks a question and the defendant doesn't answer the question and speaks about something else, and yet Judge Millian does not repeat the question or say, wait a minute, you didn't answer the question. She was very content in letting it go on without the question being answered. And my feeling is, you're asking a question because you want to know the answer, or why ask the question in the first place? It doesn't make sense to ask a question if you don't want the answer. You're asking a question so you have the answer. And these Democrats are asked about a vote for impeachment. And the responses are double talk and maneuvering and manipulating around the topic. And the question gets buried and never gets answered. And that is so wrong. That is so wrong. And I think that whenever somebody asks a question and the question is not answered, then the question must be repeated until that question is answered. And the thing is that when Democrats are asked about voting to impeach, the answers they give are, this is not enjoyable for us to do. It is a sad time, and we're going to let the facts lead us. Those are the three main responses to the whole issue about why Pelosi hasn't put this to a vote. That they say, well, we don't enjoy this. You think we enjoy this? We don't enjoy this. It's a sad time in our country, and let the facts lead us. Those are the three main answers to the question about why Pelosi doesn't take it to a vote. And in my opinion, those answers do not answer the question of why Pelosi won't take it to a vote. And they give every answer except explaining why they won't take a vote. And the question is always shot down by a lengthy diatribe of double talk nonsense. Always. So that the question is lost and forgotten. And they're on other subjects because they refuse to answer that question. Now, an injunction to this, okay, I don't like Chris Wallace on Fox News. I don't. He had a Democrat House person who said there is no precedent for the House vote. And then Chris Wallace interrupts and says, yes, there is precedent. It's precedent with Nixon and Clinton. There was precedent. So you are wrong, he tells her. You are wrong about there being no precedent. That there is precedent because it happened at least twice in history. And does she continue on the subject of about no precedent? No. She switches gears, and instead of responding to his pointing out that she is wrong and that there has been precedent, she says, well, there's no requirement. And Chris didn't stop her about requirement. I'm talking about precedent. Since you said no precedent, and I'm correcting you that there is precedent. And instead of sticking on that topic, you want to change the topic to no requirement. If I were Chris Wallace, I would have said, wait a minute. I'm not talking about requirement. I'm talking about precedent. There is precedent. Now, why isn't she doing it? Well, there's no requirement. I'm not talking about requirement. I'm talking about president. Stop talking about requirement. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about precedent. There is precedent twice already in American history that impeachment started with a House vote. So you are wrong when you say there is no precedent. And when I call to your attention that you're wrong, you do not acknowledge you're wrong. You do not admit that you're wrong. You offer no explanation why you said what you said. All you did was just ignore it totally and talk about requirement, which is not what we're talking about. So the Democrats are shifty and manipulative. And as far as I see it, okay, I don't see impeachment hearings. I see an attempted coup because there was no House vote. Regardless of whether it's required, we had 3 times that a vote, and in fact, not only was there 2 times that a vote occurred, you followed precedent 3 times by putting it to a vote. And the vote was shot down each of those 3 times. So now you're going to do not vote, which means it is not a legal, official inquiry. Because whether or not it's required, it's precedent. It's what is done. It was done twice in history. It was done 3 times with this president. So that we're talking about a total of 5 times. 5 times that they put it to a vote, and this time they don't. And that's why this is not a legitimate impeachment inquiry. This is a coup attempt. Plain and simple. Because it was a legitimate impeachment inquiry, they would have taken another vote, which counts as 4 total for this president, 6 in total history. Okay, that's what that is. Okay. 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 I think that covers this topic. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening in. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.